Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hope you had a great week. Welcome to part of the Noobs Show. Here we are. My name is JGotti. The man next to me is the Optimus Magnum. Hope you guys have a great weekend planned. We're here to start it off right with some gaming news for you, some good game report information. We're here most every Saturday morning here at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Good Game Report Twitch channel. Thank you for the live viewers we have in the chat today. As well, thank you for everybody who watches on YouTube later in the week at your own convenience and wherever you download your podcast. So, how's it going, Optimus? How's your week been? Catch us up since last week. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
It's been a good week for me, reselling wise on eBay. I've been to the post office. There was 5 days, well, Monday through Friday. I literally been to the post office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. it's pretty crazy, but I've been to the post office every day this week because I've been selling stuff. And then on top of that, got some games from Shop Goodwill has did you. But yeah, I've been and if you don't know, Shop Goodwill is kind of like a eBay, but for Goodwill. It's like Goodwill's put their stuff on their own auction site. Sometimes you can get lucky on there, but a lot of people know about it now, so it's kind of hard. But if you time things right or you get things right, sometimes you can get some luck on there. You get some good games.
Absolutely. I've been doing some shopping on Shop Goodwill since you guys told me about that too. I've been adding to my retro collection. Was able to stream. I went morning stream Gotti now, so I was able to stream all 5 days this week. And what day was it? Was it Thursday, Optimus, that we got the goodies in? Yeah, I think it was Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday, we interrupted some Cold War multiplayer with UPS and the U.S. Mail took a giant dump of packages on my porch. So we proceeded to open 8 to 10 packages, a few systems and whatnot. Opened the Sega Master System, which is my first console, a PS3 and a Dreamcast. So it's always exciting to be able to do that. And so I got my PBD on, and if you don't know what getting your PBD on means, guys, it just means you pop out the knife and you're ready to open packages. She does it a little more fluently than I do, but that's what it means to get your PBD on.
Yeah, I'm waiting for her to one day have like a butterfly knife and be like, and then just
when we rated her this week, she said she's got a knife in every room in the house. And all the guys in the chat were like, about that. What? She's got a sword in the next room. Like, yeah, it's definitely, that's not a house you want to step out of line in, because she's definitely well versed in using sharp objects.
Yes, she is.
She pretty much she did everything but tell us she was going to cut us if we got out of line. So just behave if you're in PBD stream. She does a great job. She's part of our Good Game Report community here, and definitely one of our retro collectors. She does a lot of collecting, especially a lot of the aesthetically pleasing stuff. So if when you buy a game and you buy the limited edition that comes with a figure or something like that, she's all over those. And has so many. She also, and we just talked about the Discord last week about the new retro rambles section, the buy, sell, trade, and the resellers. She's one of the people that's active in there as well, and is constantly selling stuff also. So if you haven't checked that part of the Discord, that's Tony Land down there. I just participate and post pictures, but that's Tony Land. Optimus is definitely the king of that area. PBD is definitely another strong player in that space. Yep. We got some GGR updates. Tony's going to start us off with the first couple here, and then we got some brand new Good Game Report news I'm going to share with you right after that.
Yep. On Mondays, always be sure to check out the Geek Corner stream, and that's with Matt's Geek Corner and Peter Bite. You get your knowledge, your retro knowledge in with Matt's Geek Corner, and you get your competitive side in with when the two of them, face each other off to play some games, or you get the cooperative side as well when they just play games and shoot the breeze. It's always fun to watch, always cool to check out some games and get your trivia on and stuff like that. And everybody has a blast in the chat. This week's game, they're playing Alien Trilogy, which should be really, really, really cool to watch. I don't know which console they're playing that on, but we'll figure it out when we get there. One of them always plays on like the actual hardware, the other one plays on a different. So sometimes they play with the same. But we'll see what happens this time because Peter's been picking up a lot of retro consoles lately. So he might actually be playing this on one of his actual consoles. So that's be really, 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 really cool to watch. I like that kind of stuff. And of course, there's always Raid Night. That's on Tuesdays. It's been on. It's supposed to be at 8 p.m. But lately, for the short time right now, I believe it's going to be on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a short time. Last week was fun. Actually, I was on it. I was Optimus McBooty, and it was me and Myogenics doing it. I wanted to be called that because Toodles wasn't there. So I was like, you know what, it's gonna be. I'm gonna hold up the McBooty them for Toodles there, and I was Optimus McBooty for the night. But we had a blast, me and Miles, and we rated a guy who ended up. This is so horrible, but I hate to say this, but I like to see the good times when we raid, but sometimes there's fails, and this is one of those occasions. We rated a guy. He. I think he didn't believe that we were gonna raid him or something, but he didn't have patience or something, but we rated him and he turned off his stream. Literally right before we rated him.
He must not believe you guys were
he
coming.
Missed out. Unfortunately, he missed out. But this week, it'll probably be different. Somebody will be there, hopefully, and maybe we have a backup and we can get that going. And
It reminds me of somebody's YouTube channel that's in the chat right now. I think he does it with a buddy. It's called Mistakes Were Made. Well, this fella, mistakes were made.
Yeah, mistakes were definitely made that day, but check it out. It's always fun to raid the community or raid somebody in the community, invite them to our community, and then, interact with some new people.
Absolutely. Great way to get the good game report out there to other folks and let them see kind of what we're all about. We're all about spreading the love out there. We'll raid somebody when we get done today. All about spreading the love. So, brand new breaking news for next week in the good game report. By the way, top 10, it's out. Week 66, 65. Man, we have so many. It's tough to remember the number these days. 65 came out Thursday. If you haven't watched it, go out to the Good Game Report YouTube channel. Check it out because it's going to be the last one for a while. You see, it's a whole video on Thursday. Yeah, I said it. Last one in that form for a while. We're going to change with the times. We've discussed internally what we want to do to get this out there a little more, get a little more views on the YouTube channel, and also just kind of bring some freshness back to the top 10. Obviously, it's great every week. We've got great clips being submitted. By the way, we need those. You know, I hound that general chat all the time for it. We need you. We want to promote you. We want to put you in a video. So hopefully this will put you in an even better position to be able to do so. We're going to be doing 5 YouTube shorts a week. So on Monday at 10 a.m., Eastern Standard, what you're going to see pop out in the Good Game Report Twitch channel is the first section of the top 10. Number 10 and number 9 will come on Monday, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, all the way till Friday. The 5th short will have number 2, and you'll find out who's number 1 in the Good Game Report top 10. So you'll have 5 shorts to watch through the week for the top 10. Really excited about that. We've been working hard on that behind the scenes for a little while now, and it's all loaded. It's all scheduled and ready to go right now. So would appreciate your support going and checking that out. It's just going to take a minute out of your day or less, 5 days of the week, and it'll create some suspense maybe about who's going to be number 1 on Friday. So definitely cool stuff. Make sure you're checking that out. Good stuff. And if you want to be in there, you can basically be in your own Good Game Report short. You're going to get half of the short to yourself with your clip. But you got to submit the clips to do it. You know where to do it. Weekly top 10 clips, channel in the GGR Discord. Get in there and do it. Otherwise, you won't be considered, right? There's no way for you to get in if you don't submit a clip, right, Tony?
Exactly. Submit your clips. Even if you don't stream, you can submit a clip. You know, if you have recordings or you record yourself doing something, submit the clip.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be gaming all the time. It could be something else.
Yeah, absolutely. You give us your funny stuff, right? Give us the big oof. Matt's Geek Corner is really good about giving us the oof every once in a while. He's got some funny ones. A lot of comedy comes out of that channel into the top 10 for sure. Yeah. But one other thing, good Game Report news-wise, I wanted to share with you today. First of all, I wanted to thank Reflect. He's been our Gamer Showcase recipient, the wearer of the crown for the last month. Today, this is the last final minutes of him wearing the crown. He's going to be passing the crown after the part of the Noobs show today to Slusive. Slusive, I think you're in the chat today. Congratulations to Slusive. He's going to be the new wearer of the crown. We're going to get everything swapped over here after the part of the Noob show. So he's going to get those going live notifications for Twitch. It's his channel, right? So he's going to go in there. He's real fired up. He's going to have a lot of stuff coming through there to get to know you guys better, get you the opportunity to know him better. He'll be putting socials in there, all kinds of stuff, and just talking daily, getting together with the community. We like to do this is to feature somebody from our Good Game Report, group in the Discord, and Sluiciv's going to be the wearer of the crown for the next month. So, congratulations to Sluiciv, the next Gamer Showcase recipient, starting today, and he's going to run into the middle of next month as well. Congrats,
Right.
Sluiciv.
Congrats, buddy. All right, for gaming news, let's move on. Activision Blizzard posted their second quarter earnings for 2021. The earnings call started with the company stating that they are committed to a safe working environment. Now, we talked about this last week about that whole lawsuit thing that's going on with them and the sexual harassment charges, and they listed numerous steps that they will take to get there in spite of the recent news. The company generated quarterly net revenues of $2.3 billion. That's up 18.8% compared to $1.93 billion in the same period of 2020. A newer and bigger part of their recent success include Call of Duty Mobile being on track to exceed $1 billion in consumer spending this year. So Call of Duty Mobile actually doing pretty well for them, despite, and I think didn't they say something about Call of Duty Mobile might be either going away or something happening with them?
I haven't heard any news about the status of it continuing, but I do know people are popping off using it. It's been a huge amount of growth. You can see there, $1 billion in consumer
That's
spending
crazy.
this year. $1
Yeah, because
billion in the
I've
first
never
half of
played
the
Call of
year.
Duty Mobile, but that's crazy that $1 billion. That's insane.
I can't imagine them collecting $1 billion on a mobile game. It's
Yeah.
just outstanding. I can barely use. I use my controller on this huge screen in front of me. Right. That's enough. That's all I can do. Can you imagine putting my thumbs and fingers on a? Yeah, we have big cell phones these days, right? I mean, they're not small. You
Yeah.
can put your hands in them, and no, I would just die repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm not a mobile player. A lot of people play with controllers on their mobile. Like you
Oh
could
yeah,
sync controllers and stuff like that to it. And some people actually could play with mouse and keyboard. There's devices that you could play mouse and keyboard on mobile.
I've seen some that
I
holds your
actually have
phone
one.
too.
Yeah, I actually have one. It's a keypad,
Mhm.
like one of those things you use. It's like a smaller keyboard, and you can attach the mouse to it. And actually, it's for mobile and PC. So it's pretty cool. A device that I have for that. You can take it on the go because it's a little small little keypad basically. But I never use it because I don't play mobile games. But is what it is. Which also brings me to this. It's poll week. And our
Poll
first
week?
poll. Yep,
Tony,
our
not
first
here.
poll.
Not here. No, it's not. We're not doing poll.
Not that
No.
poll. I know.
Oh,
POLL poll week.
gotcha.
Not POLE. For those of you guys out there with that, that mentality. But anyways, listen, guys, follow our Twitter, Good Game Report Twitter, and also at PTN Show, our Twitter. We always put up polls during poll week. Not that poll, but we always put up polls, and it's great for you guys to participate. It's great for everybody to just get your answer some questions, have fun, interact with us as well. But the first poll question was, do you play mobile games? And if so, how much do you spend on them annually? And 10 people participated, and 50% of you basically said, I don't play on mobile, which is understandable. A lot of people just don't play mobile games. They have consoles at home. They have their own stuff they do, and some people just don't have time to play mobile games. But 30% of you said, I spend less than $50. Said I spend in between 50 and $100 on mobile, and $100 or more, zero. So nobody's really out there spending crazy money that we know on mobile games, but there's a lot of people that do. There's a lot of people that like that stuff, and they'll spend tons of dollars on that stuff just because they want extra things, extra DLC, extra who knows what on mobile.
I used to play a little bit of mobile games. I used to play Clash Royale and Clash of Clans.
Yes.
I still actually have those, and I still play them a little bit, but I don't spend any money on them anymore. I used to, maybe get the $5 pass for the month where you get a whole bunch of extra stuff. But I'm basically just farming in each of them now. Every once in a while, if I'm bored, I'll get Clash Royale out and I'll play that, because that's just an immediate player versus player, back and forth real quick. But yeah, I still play that a little bit, just not as much as I used to. It was nice to have a game on your phone, you could go out there and play if you're like bored. You're waiting on something to happen. You're waiting for an appointment or whatever, But
Yeah. I think the only games I've ever played on mobile are like Words with Friends for a short time and like Dominoes. I play like Dominoes games. True Hispanic fashion for me. I love Dominoes, so is what it
yeah,
is. But
there's a lot of those word games and that kind of stuff that I definitely have played in the past too. They eat your battery. Some of those games just
yeah,
eat the
yeah.
battery.
That's why they're no longer on my phone.
Exactly.
I don't know. I just can't play. I just don't really get into mobile gaming, but is what it is. But a
I mean,
fun
there was
fact about
yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I
Fun
was gonna
fun
say,
fact about go ahead. Sorry.
nah, my bad. I need to be quiet.
All right, fun fact about Apex Legends. EA generated $1.054 billion from live services in quarter 2 of 2021, driven by outperformance by Apex Legends. Because everybody's playing Apex Legends, and it's the only way to play Apex Legends is online.
Crazy because you got Activision and Blizzard. Obviously, they got quite a few games. EA does as well, but we know Activision Blizzard is a much bigger company with a lot bigger, lot more banger games that bring in revenue. Obviously, right? So
Yep.
their quarterly net of 2.3 billion USD above that we talked about there. EA did a billion on its own, and I don't know what the percentage is, but I bet a very high percentage of that is Apex Legends. So it was just a kind of a fun fact this week to kind of throw in there. Apex is doing very well, and this is quarter 2 information. Who knows what quarter 3 is going to look like after people started bailing on playing Warzone? The big streamers streaming Apex now and creating even more interest in the game with season 10 coming out. So can't wait
Yep.
till quarter 3 results and we can see. I really like to look back and see how that changes for EA in quarter 3 because I bet it goes 75% to 100% more. I bet it almost doubles for quarter 3 because of just the outcry and the all the Warzone cheating crap and the everything else we've been talking about, right?
Yep. And it also sets a precedent. You're going to see a lot more Battle Royale games come out
That's right.
because they see this kind of revenue that Battle Royale brings in with Warzone, Apex Legends, the originals PUBG and players or PUBG originally and stuff like that. So you're going to see, and Fortnite, of course, sorry, you're going to see a lot of these games, more games coming out.
Absolutely.
Yep. Moving on to gaming news, Twitch Chief Operating Officer or Twitch COO, Sarah Clemens announced that she was leaving the company in 2022, January of 2022. So in a town hall meeting this last week, she will leave the Amazon-owned game streaming platform in January 2022. She joined in January of 2018 after previously being in the role of COO at Pandora. She has worked at LinkedIn and Microsoft in various roles as well. Clemens did not mention why she would be departing the company, other than she has had the privilege of joining several boards over the last few years and have really enjoyed the opportunity to help founders grow their businesses. So I'll be focusing on that and consulting work, she said. What this does mean for what does this mean for Twitch? And are there signs that point to trouble, or is this just another CEO running their path at the current company and looking for a new challenge?
There's some interesting questions you have there, Tony. Like, what is the path there? Is this just another? Because you see B titles run a chain at a company, right? They go in there for 3 to 5 years. They're really good at something. They clean something up. They make something more efficient. Then they go on to the next project. Is it that? Or is there something deeper here inside Twitch? We had tinfoil hat controversy last week. I just couldn't help but bringing this back in this week. What's the real reason why you're leaving, Sarah? What's going on at Twitch? Right? It could be she's just going on to something else. Since she's got a track record, obviously you mentioned she worked on LinkedIn, Microsoft, Pandora. Could just be her MO. Could be just something that she's going to do and take on her next challenge. But
that's the new thing now. So gone are the days where people stay at companies for 20, 25 years, unless you're at a profession like police or firemen or something manufacturing or something like that. We're gone are those days where you stay at a company for long periods of time. Nowadays, executives and analysts and people like that, they move on. 3-4 years, they move on. and it's just kind of the thing to do in the industry. It's good to show all the work that you're doing at different various companies. It makes you look good, and companies want to bring you aboard.
And I guess the advantage to that is maybe you get a higher salary at the next place, more perks, stuff like that. Maybe you get to
Yeah.
travel and live at a different area if you want to relocate a few times. I don't want to move every 4 or 5 years, but
Yeah.
I'd like to stay just at the company I'm at until I retire. That'd be suit me right down to the ground. But I can see the advantages. Maybe if you get noteworthy for doing certain things, you go into the next company and do it over again and do it over again. It becomes a cycle and you're good at it. Then so be it. Do it. I mean, baseball players do that. Basketball players do that. Become free agents. They take their talents to another team. Wherever the
Exactly.
money's at. So see titles do it too, apparently. Continuing in gaming news. So Esports Observer has reported they've been kind of watching the Twitch stats as they've compiled for the first half of 2021. They have the hours watched list for the first half of 2021. It's going to kind of skate through those games real quick. Maybe some surprises, maybe not. But we're going to go from 10 to 1. In 10th place, Rust, which kind of came on the scene a little bit there. People were playing some Rust, kind of an
Mhm.
open world setting. 29.15 million hours watched in the first half. Also, I'll be looking to see second half of the year because Apex Legends ran 9th on Twitch. 9th with only 31.62 million hours watched. CSGO came on 8th with a little more than that. In fact, they're 31.62 as well. They're just the remainder was a little bigger. So CSGO and Apex about the same. No shocker here. Minecraft, 47 million hours watched in the first half on Twitch. Valorant, however you want to say it. I just stick with Valley because I don't know how the game's pronounced. 47.83 million. Coming in at number 5, Fortnite, still a player. Even though
Mhm.
we trash Fortnite and everything, there's a lot of game out there, and watching Fortnite must come from the younger audience because I'm not watching Fortnite too much unless what's one of my favorite streamers, like maybe a Kimbro Plays or somebody like that likes to play Fortnite or Makud, that I'm watching the streamer, not the game. Number 4, Call of Duty Warzone, 58.69 million hours watched, just edges out Fortnite by a little bit. Not going to be surprised by the next one here. Number 3, League of Legends. It jumps all the way up to 94.79 million hours watched. That's a
The
huge
game will
gap.
never go away.
Won't go away. It just
Nope.
lives and lives and lives.
Yep.
People love
Forever.
watching League of
People
Legends.
love that game.
It's definitely one of those stuck on games. Speaking of a stuck on game, this is probably one of the most stuck on games in recent history because they won't make another one. Grand Theft Auto 5, 105.89 million hours watched. That's a ton of watch time.
Yeah.
I know Miles Jennings streams it every once in a while. He's got some mods and whatnot that he uses also, and that can make things entertaining, different to watch. But still, that's number 2, 105.89 million hours watched the first half of 2021. And
Yeah.
then anybody can guess this one. It's not really a game. It's just what you put on your screen when you're just talking or doing things like that. Just chatting. By far the largest, 158.48 million hours watched of just chatting. So if we were doing some quick math here, we could probably take 6, 10, 9, 8, and maybe 7, combine them, and it doesn't do more than just chatting at number 1.
That's
So
crazy. People like to just watch people stream and talk.
absolutely, it's all about content creation. Something like me.
Mhm.
Sometimes I just like to watch the creator. I don't care what they're playing. I just want to watch them interact with them. They're
Yeah.
entertaining and whatnot. It's the kind of creator I'd like to be. Uh, but we got a poll. No, we got a poll question.
Mm.
I had a poll question on the Good Game Report Twitch channel this week. Instagram pointed it to you as well. So we asked, what do you watch the most on Twitch? So we got some interesting results here. So we provided the answers of Apex Legends, COD Warzone, and GTA 5. So of that makeup, Apex Legends with 25% of the vote, 6.3% to each COD Warzone and GTA 5, and then 62.5% of you said something else. So we got some individual comments here. Optimus Magnum, retro for me, you know it. Well, you know.
You know
Matt's
it.
Geek Corner, same thing, retro. Probably should have put retro in there as one of them. probably would have won. And then Rebel Warwick, I tend to watch for the streamer, not necessarily the game. So that's what we should all be aspiring to. I mean, the game can bring people in sometimes, but if they're in there watching for you, then that's the ultimate goal, right? You want them to be able to do that for sure. Had some interesting news about Twitch come out later this week, Tony. Do you know more about that?
Yep. Twitch is apparently going to finally, I mean, it only takes a few years for this to happen, but they're finally going to give streamers a chance to know why they ban them. So instead of just giving you the ban hammer, knocking you off of Twitch, and just, not telling you why, not giving a reason, not ever saying why, they're finally about to get a little cleaner, basically. So starting on Monday, the company announced that it will include the name and date of the content that violated platform rules when it issues a ban.
How nice of Twitch to finally give some information when they ban somebody.
Do you think they're going to give people like Alinity and Dr. Disrespect the reason finally too, or do you think they already found out those reasons?
I don't think they did. I think these people are telling the truth. I don't think anybody gave them a phone call and said, "Hey, by the way," because you look at some of these reactions when it happens. They're all live on stream, and all of a sudden they're not. And you see the reactions. It's like, what's going on? So I think this is just this is so typical of Twitch. I know we're streaming on the platform right now. Twitch, please forgive me, but I'm giving you straightforward feedback.
Yes.
Why weren't you doing this before? In what world can you hold someone accountable for something and not tell them what they did wrong so they can improve? Come on, Twitch. This is basic coaching one-on-one. If you're going to give accountability, you have to tell them what went wrong. Now, this is about making it public for everybody else to see, then that's something different. But it's our experience and our perception that you guys aren't even telling people when you ban them in the first place. You're just letting them ban, and then you might give them a hint around the bush or something later as to what they're doing, expecting them just to know what happened. Because I know plenty of people have been banned from Twitch, and it's not hot tub streaming. It's not all this stuff recently, right? It's other things. If they don't know, how do they fix the problem? Basic coaching one-on-one. All right,
Exactly.
Twitch, I'm sorry.
I think they're scared.
On my rant.
I think they're chicken. They're scared.
They
Like
are.
they're scared of like conflict or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't want the smoke. Like they don't want to like either they're scared of lawsuits or they're scared of something because they just say bye and then they're like, well, if we don't say anything, then nothing can happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but maybe now they're finally, maybe they took a while because they were trying to write out the language of why they were banning so that they can finally come out with everything and not have to worry about getting sued.
Yeah.
So they're writing out their languages, getting it in there in actual paperwork so that when people consent to being affiliates or partners on Twitch, they can actually have that language written in so that when they ban you, they can tell you why and they'll have their reasons and you can't sue them, basically. That's what my guess is. That's the only thing I could think of. Is right now they were scared, but now they get the language in there. Oh, now they'll tell you.
I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, and I think Tony just hit the nail on the head. This is just legalese crap. They just want to make sure they don't get sued. So that's why they have them doing it. And then I'm surprised they haven't got sued for not telling people. But likewise, they're probably just getting their legalese better to where they're putting out. It'll be very generic, I'm sure, in nature, which really doesn't lend much to this if that's what ends up happening. So, Twitch, you're always trying hard. Maybe your COO should stick around and improve some more things first before going to another company. All right, it's time. Esports updates.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Favorite part.
It's been it's been interesting over the last week. Let's just call it what it is. Call of Duty News on Twitter reported this week. Big trouble going down for champs. Big trouble. Off the teammates Seth Scump and Dylan Envoy both come out on Twitter this last week and announced they were of those that tested positive for COVID-19 after major number 5.
Oh boy.
So this is a bad problem because, as I reported last week, this is going to be at the Galen Center at USC. Plan to have a full crowd, full LAN, everybody in one building. This really puts champs in danger, right? We want this to happen, and we don't want to have a champs that has a lot of important people missing from it. Because then what's the competition, you know? If you're missing a couple players from this team, a couple players from that team, it wouldn't be the same. You'd still have a champs, but it just wouldn't be. It would always be that almost that asterisk next to the wins. So Reports also suggest the Toronto Ultra Sub Methods, an attendee rallied, which streams on Twitch, Patrick Salata, were amongst the catalysts that actually came in contact with the virus. Allegedly, the CDL players and personalities, so not all, but some, attended an after party after Major 5, which the virus could have spread. Others, like Hydra, were seen soaking in the atmosphere in their first LAN, because LAN hasn't been around. We've been playing remotely for over a year, mixing supporters on the floor, which is against regulations. So we had all those folks in Jerry's Esports Arena down there by the Jerry Dome a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And all the fans were down there. I guess there were players interacting with fans down on the floor, which, come on, man. It seems like common sense, but
Texas is one of the states that COVID is spreading rapidly. And if you're in Texas and you're a Call of Duty player and you're a professional, why would you interact with the fans?
I could
Just
see
stay away.
And where they got it from, Scumpy and Envoy. Envoy's first time at a LAN, right? First time seeing people. Actually watched a YouTube video. Hector, one of the owners, the owner of Optic Gaming, has his own YouTube channel, and they actually went into some detail around the experience. And we're talking to Envoy and some other guys about what that looks like. Your first LAN, your first in-person event, and what the crowd brings noise-wise. When you're sitting in the chairs up there and you're playing, and when plays are made, how the structure underneath you, the desk that you have the computers are on, and everything, like, it shakes. It visually it shakes your very body, right? So I guess they got a little ahead of themselves, interacted a little too much. There's 3,500 tickets sold for the Galen Center coming up, and that's coming up this weekend. So they kind of have to look at what are we going to do. So earlier this week, we were still largely didn't know what was going to go on. We're like, okay, so players are going to need to pass some testing before they can go to the arena to play. They knew that. So they said, there's a 2-week turnaround between Major 5 and Champs. So there's a possibility there's enough to get people recovered, right? The time is there. It's still possible where these folks can do that. But what are they going to do about fans that are 3,500 tickets sold and everything else? So obviously for Optic, this is catastrophic. Your two SMGs, Envoy and Scump, if they don't play, that team's nothing. They might as well forget it. Don't even roll it out. Tony and I might as well go be the SMGs for Optic at this point. Not really. Not really. But we might as well be, because we're not going to be at the same level. So, like, the options for them would be like their coach, Sender, or, General, which is also part of the team. The only ones that know the Optic Max strategy. So they're only ones that could actually run the plays as you go. By the way, in esports and the Call of Duty League, they do run plays, just like a football team calls a play in the huddle before they go out, depending if you're playing Search and Destroy or whatever. It is significant. You've got to have that rhythm together. So we did have some breaking news late in the week. Producer's going to put a graphic up here from the COD League that came out late this week, and told us that all attendees of Champs need to show proof of vaccination, or, if not fully vaxxed, a negative test received within 72 hours of attending the event. All attendees be required to mask up during the event, regardless of vaccination status. So this tells me that we're still having Champs. There's still going to be fans there. It's still going to be LAN. Players are going to be there. You're just going to have to prove that you've had the vaccination to be out there, and or if the guys that have tested positive, they got to turn in two negative tests before they can go. And the negative test received 72 hours before attending the event. They put some stipulations on there. So at this point, Champs is still on. So we still have hope this thing's going to go down. I hope this didn't put us in a compromised position, because you definitely want to spread this crap. But deep down inside, I'm so happy that the fans are going to be there, and that we're going to have a Champs top 8 teams going at it and LAN play. Hopefully everybody's involved. Everybody can get their negative tests, be cure of the illness, that kind of stuff for Champs. Because buddy, this is the Super Bowl of Call of Duty League. This is it. We won't be talking about the Call of Duty League after this, except for roster moves here in a few months and that kind of stuff. So this is it. So we had to do a poll question. Poll time! We had to do a poll talking about it because we wanted to know, who do you predict's going to win champs? So, we tagged all the franchises out there in the post. We had 3 unique opportunities for you to choose, and then or someone else. So the heavy favorite in this is still Atlanta FaZe, even though they went 2 and out in Major 5. You got to think they got a big chip on their shoulder, and they've already won multiple majors this year. So that team received 37.5% of the votes. The Minnesota Rocker, oh my goodness, Major 5. We talked about their story and their epic gameplay on LAN last week or a couple weeks ago to win Major 5, received 12.5% of the votes. And then Toronto Ultra also 12.5%. Oh, we said, hey, someone else. So if it's someone else, we actually did have one person that chimed in with someone else.
Tony, who?
Do you know who that was, Tony?
I wonder who. Who could it possibly be? New York Stand Up?
New York Stand Up? Tony's still got he's got the faith in his subliners, the leadership of Clayster up there. He thinks they can still pull something together at champs. He's going to be rooting for him. You know where my heart's at. Optic Gaming is where my heart's at. If we're healthy, we're pretty seriously stupid in a couple of different ways, on the positive and the negative side. If they can put together the talent's there. You don't want to hear my Optic rambles. You really don't. So I'm going to put those aside. You know where my heart's at. You know what I want to have happen. I'd like Scumpy to go out, retire after this year with a champs in his back pocket, because I think it's time to move forward again. Yes, I just called out Scump again on a TV show.
Poor Scump.
I'm sorry, Scump, but it's just time, dude. It's time. Maybe get into coaching or something. Streaming on Twitch. Maybe. You can make so much money. Me. Yeah, Coach Tony. Tony needs coaching.
I do.
We're going to move out. We're still talking about esports here. Got some more information here to go. We're going to jump out of the Call of Duty League at least. So the Esports Observer put some interesting information out this week, because I realize there's a lot of people here that attend the show, people in general that just, they've heard of esports. They don't really know what it is, right? They're like, oh, what is it? Okay. So I had a recent post on Instagram that kind of shared some facts on esports. What is esports? It's electronic sports, right? It's competitive, multiplayer video gaming, typically performed by professional players in front of spectators, typically in a non-COVID world. Did you know the first esports tournament happened back in 1980, Tony? Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Well, they had tournaments back and then with video games and like arcade machines and stuff. I remember that.
Very first one was a Space Invaders Championship held by Atari in 1980. Dude, that's should I count the 41 years ago?
Yeah,
41 years
ago. Wasn't
as
big as it is now, obviously.
No,
but I mean, back then you win like a console, or you win like $5 or like a trip to Chuck E. Cheese.
Esports has been around for 41 years, so
wow.
older than most of you in the chat. 1 year older than myself, and I won't give anybody else's ages in there. But it attracted 10,000 participants. 10,000 people got in the Space Invaders Championship, won by Rebecca Heinemann, if I'm saying her name right. 10,000 competitors playing Space Invaders on Atari. Can you imagine what it took to even put something like that together and record all that? And that's 1980, bro. Like, the internet's not even popping yet. We don't even have 56K modems dialing yet. That's
nope.
And for those of you that know, the time period, that's you're not even getting to use. You're not even using a push button telephone. Have you guys seen one of these? Not even a push button telephone.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Not even that.
Not even a cell phone.
No cell phones. Definitely no cell phones whatsoever.
Definitely. I mean,
you had the rotary, and you push the finger in the number, and then you turn it all the way around, then I let it go, right? And it dials around. One number at a time. So those of you that don't know what a rotary phone is, go out there and Google that. You'll be surprised. That's the time period we're talking about. That's how long esports has been around. So
that's crazy.
Just share some extra information about esports, because I'm just trying to, do some education here as well with esports, because I know not everybody's into it or whatnot. So 2021 esports audience, I want to talk about that. So far this year, there's been 474 million viewers watching esports. It's a growth of 8.7% year over year, which is some decent growth, right? Probably influenced by COVID a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Esports enthusiasts, all right? So these are the people that watch professional esports content more than once a month. This would include me because of the Call of Duty League. Make up 49% of that total audience with 234 million users, up 8.6%. Obviously, you've got another group, right, which are the occasional viewers, right? Maybe some of you, Tony would be an occasional viewer.
Yep.
Occasionally, he'll take in a look at the New York subliners and say New York stands up, and he'll either cheer or he'll shred it off because they're getting toasted. So, occasional viewer, people watch professional esports content less than once a month. They make up 51% of the audience, and that's 240 million people. They were up 8.8% year over year. So, want to talk about the revenue around that and the growth projections, right? So, one fact shared was the amount of revenue grown over the last few years, as well as a projection for 2024 for esports. In 2019, raked in $957 million of revenue in esports. 2020 dipped back 1% at 947 million. 2021, so far, we're projected to hit over 1 billion. 1 billion. 1.084 billion, which will be up 14.5% year over year. So you're going to see a lot of growth there in the esports revenue. They're capitalizing on it, right? I mean, this is becoming popular. So they predict by 2024, they're projecting $1.6 billion in revenue from esports.
That's crazy.
11% increase from 2019 to 2024 is what they're saying, based off of projections and growth and everything that's going on. We talked about in the Discord a while back about esports being in the Olympics. We had some strong feelings to both sides of the coin. Fact of the matter is, folks, esports is around. This is a big, huge thing. This is not something that you can put down with some comments. It's a real thing, and you're going to see it out there a lot more. So obviously, you don't have to watch it if you want to. You got free choice, right? You choose whether to wake up and get out of bed every morning. It's your choice. But wanted to share just kind of the gravity of what's happening on esports right now and how big it's getting. It's not just a small thing anymore. I mean, eventually this is going to take over the NHL, the hockey league as a major sport here, especially in the United States, in terms of revenue, in terms of people watching it. Watch out, because this is going to become a major thing out there, right? Obviously, the NHL is a specific hockey league, right? Esports is very broad, right? Has many different games on the side of it, but just try to give it some notoriety here. So had to follow it up with the Twitter question, of course. So poll time. Got another poll for you. So we asked the question on Twitter this week: do you watch esports? So when we looked at it here, we said, okay, we're going to label this kind of like the graphic went. Do you watch it once a month, multiple times a month, a couple of times per month, or never? Well, 50% of you said you never watch esports. That's fine. That's kind of where the climate's at right now, but it's changing. It's quickly changing, as we can see with the numbers there. A couple of times a month at 0%, multiple times a month, 40%, and then once a month, 10%. So the majority, never, and then multiple times per month. I think I was probably part of that 40% when I voted in the poll, because I'm definitely going to watch it more than once a month. So enough esports. I know I just filled you with all kinds of esports, COD League, everything. It's my passion. It's what I like. Want to get into some other esports here. As COD League settles down, we're going to probably have to do some reporting on some other stuff. So look forward to giving some other leagues some attention here in the near future. I think it's time to move on to Retro Corner with Optimus, though.
Retro's always fun. Well, a new mini console was announced. So if you're aware, there's like these little mini consoles that come out every now and then. They had the mini NES, the mini SNES or SNES, the Genesis, the PS1, the TurboGrafx 16, the Commodore 64. There's tons of them. There's tons of mini consoles out there, basically. If you can get your hands on one, it's awesome. I have them, of course. It's everything except the Commodore 64. But the latest one is called the Retro Mini Amiga 500. So it's going to be called the A500 Mini. The latest throwback mini console is paying homage to the home computer, the Commodore Amiga 500. And basically, it's the same company that made the Commodore 64 Mini. The collector's item or conversation piece will cost $139.99, which is probably the most expensive of the ones that I've seen so far, because all the other ones were definitely not that price. when it goes on sale in early 2022, the 35th anniversary of the PC's launch. Players can also sideload their own games with a USB stick, which is awesome. They did the same thing with the C64 Mini. A news release from Koch Media Retro Games parent, said the A500 Mini will have a full WHD load support as well as game save feature to help you finish those punishingly difficult classics. Classic gaming fans will find 25 Amiga staples in the A500's onboard library of games. Among them are Interplay's 1991 hit Another World, 1993 point-and-click adventure Simon the Sorcerer, steampunk run-and gunner The Chaos Engine, which was later ported to home consoles of the day, and Team 17's 1995 hit Worms. Everybody knows about Worms. Probably if you've played some retro games, you know about Worms. Worms is on a lot of different consoles and stuff, which launched a franchise about almost 24 sequels and spin-offs. In addition to the 4 games mentioned above, the A500 Mini will also include Alien Breed 3D, ATR All-Terrain Racing, Battle Chess, Cadaver, Kickoff 2, Pinball Dreams, Speedball, Brew Deluxe, and Zoot. Ninja of the Nth Dimension, with more titles to be announced later. The A500 Mini will have a total of 25 games on board at launch, and that's it. It's going to be a really cool console. That's actually something that I am going to grab because it's got a lot of games and you can sideload games. So anything you can get where you can sideload games, I like it because it's easier. I wish the other minis did that, but they don't.
Yeah, I mean, this is way back, right? This is the Commodore 64.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is super retro old school. Like this is before I was born. This thing was
yeah,
out, right? In the late 70s. You
yeah.
know, Tone was just a little tyke. He probably didn't even have one or plan
Nope,
one, right?
nope. Never even heard of it actually.
This is rare space here, so it's kind of cool that people are still bringing stuff like this back to educate us on what was out there, and so we can enjoy it too if we want to. So
Yeah.
pretty cool
Fun
stuff.
games, fun times too. It's fun. It's fun playing these older games and consoles and seeing what people used to play back in the day. And seeing it in better graphics too. Because I mean, these have HDMI outs, and you could play them on your flat screen. They look better that way rather than that old screen that they used to have.
Technology is an amazing thing. I'm so happy that we have it, and
Yeah,
sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I just absolutely hate technology. I wish I could put my cell phone away and never have a cell phone and just have to rely on a house phone. But man, when it comes to this space, technology is so amazing. Love it. So we talked last week about about heritage auctions, about the grading companies that are hooked up with them. You know, copies of video games that are sealed in the box, selling for lots and lots of money. Well, guess what? More has happened. Rare copy of Super Mario Brothers sold for $2 million last Friday. 2 million bucks. So there's a new twist to this. I want to break it down for you a little bit. This is a little different situation. So a company called Rally actually has investors, right? The company named Rally is who bought this $2 million copy of Super Mario Brothers, the highest price ever paid for a single video game. So this keeps getting crazier and crazier. And like Tony said last week, great. Another game that's going to sit in a box and nobody's going to play it, right? What good is that? I'm 100% on page with that, by the way. So Rally is getting investors, right? So if you're familiar with like a professional sports franchise, right? So I use the Kansas City Chiefs, for example. You know, Patrick Mahomes owns a, well, is that my cat? Yeah. Sorry, kidding. We can't talk right now. If you want to be on part of the noobs, you gotta put yourself down as a special guest. Sorry about that. He's not approved for being a guest on today's show. But anyway, like Patrick Mahomes is a 10%, 15% owner in the Kansas City Royals, right? He bought into that. So he's a part owner of the company. So you understand kind of where I'm going with this. This is a little different. So they have investors that will invest. They will sell shares of a game that they buy. So they bought this for 2 million. Then they have a group of investors that buy shares of that. So Tony, you might own 25% of that. I own another 25%. The producer's got bigger pockets, so he owns 50% of it. So when you go to sell that game, you have multiple people investing on that big purchase. What I don't know is how do they ever expect to get more than $2 million for this game and make a profit on it? It just seems ludicrous to me. What do you think about it, Tom?
I I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. I don't like that they're starting to do this, and I'm starting to see it on. I'll get to it in a second, but I don't like this because it just doesn't make sense. Like I said, and another thing, it's another common game.
Mm.
So what about the rare games? What are these going to sell for? What are they going to go for then? Because there's everybody has Super Mario Brothers. I think I have like 16 of them back there. Like, and I can't get rid of them if you wanted me to. I know they're just plain carts and they're not a sealed copy, but
Dude, I'll take one, by the way.
it's just it just seems like it just seems off. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's making so if something that sold 40 million copies like this game between the Famicom and the Nintendo
Yeah.
is getting sold for $2 million sealed in the box. What about some of these rare games that we may never even get the opportunity to see? Yeah, we'll have to play on emulation or something like that to be able to get the experience of playing it. There's a lot of new retro collectors like myself. I've just started a retro collection. I'm just starting to get some of the old consoles back together, games. I'm not like Tony's got 900 games sitting behind him there. He is a collector. He is trying to fill out as much as possible. I'm just trying to get a few games that I remember playing that I like and enjoy to play. I want to play again. But some of these games I would like to get a copy of and play for the first time. And I'm also scared, knowing that if a game like this that's not rare at all, 40 million copies sold of this game originally.
Yeah.
If it's going for that, what's going to happen to some of these rare games we may never get to see? Some people
Yeah.
may never get to play.
And my concern is two things. The first being these people looking for sealed games. So I'm starting to see YouTube channels that I've watched previously. They're shifting towards every time they go out, they're asking game stores and asking pawn shops and asking places, do you have sealed games? And they're literally looking at the seals and grabbing just various sealed games. Doesn't matter if they're old, new, popular, rare, nothing. They're just grabbing sealed games. And it's a trend. And I'm starting to see it now. And they're all sending them to WADA to get graded. Immediately to WADA to get graded. Like if the seal's any bit good, they're sending it off. And I'm noticing that trend, and I'm wondering if they're in on it or if they know something that I don't or what's going on. But they're all shifting towards sealed games, and I don't like it because now people, these people have hundreds of thousands of
Mhm.
subscribers, and all these people now are going to start looking for those kind of games. And then the other thing is, now that you got these games selling that are sealed, what happens when they start grading used games? Used games in the box. How's the box look? How's this look? How's that look? Used carts. How's the cart look? What's the cart condition? Any scratches, blemishes, anything on it? It's going to start to shift towards that because you can only have so many sealed games. So it's going to
Right.
start to shift towards used games, and used games are going to start getting graded, I believe. And it's just getting. I mean, I know they do some used already. I think WADA actually does use games already, like in the box and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I just see this trend coming of just like this grading and people just enclosing carts now and not playing carts. And it's just like, come on. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't honestly like where this is going. It's making it harder for people like me to even who want to play some games and grab games and have them on hand to play and share with my family, kids, and friends. I can't. It's just impossible. I'm good with my collection as it is now, but there are some titles I would like to get in the future.
Sure.
But this is becoming a little much.
A little overboard. A little overboard.
Yeah.
It's all about money, and it's not about what it's actually about. This isn't a retro collecting isn't about money. It's about actually playing the games and reliving part of history. I got
Yeah.
that Sega Master System shipped to me. That was my first console I ever had that I owned myself. I'm not intending to keep that and sell that years later for profit. I want to play the dang thing. I want to
Yeah.
revisit what it was like to be in, third grade playing a Sega Master System for the first time, playing Hang On and Outrun and Shoplifter and Shinobi. I want to relive that. I don't want to buy it so I can sell it later for a profit. I think they're getting
Yeah.
a little twisted up here.
True collectors enjoy like exactly what you said. They pick up the game, they pop that game in, and they're literally brought back to their childhood. You're literally brought back to what you felt like when you were playing that game as a kid. It makes you feel like you're a kid inside, and if you have family or if you have friends or if you have children, you can share that with them and able
Right.
to share your joy when you were a kid with them as them being a kid. And to me, that's what collecting is about. I enjoy that. It's not about the money. I do resell things on the side, but most of it's just to get money to get more games,
Yeah.
and relive more of my childhood. But it's getting to the point now. This is all about money for these people. They don't even care about the games. Just get your hand on a game so I can see how much money I can make. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I just know I don't really like it.
Great.
But is what it is. But moving on to tech talk. Astro. If you know what Astro is, Astro headsets. I have one right here. Actually, I can bring it over right for you guys. I have an A40 headset. Here's one right here. This is the TR. So Astro announced that they are having a new blue ice pop microphone attachment for the A40 headset. Now, blue ice pop, if you know what blue microphones are, that they had the blue Snowball. There's a more expensive blue. I'm not sure, remember what the name was, and there's also the blue Yeti. It's a very popular condenser mic making company, and I believe Blue is now owned by Logitech, which also owns Astro. So all those three companies together combined making products. And I believe there's also blue headset as well, made by Logitech now, that also uses this microphone. But the one Astro announced that they have the attachment for the A40 headset. So if you have this headset, it's a really, really cool thing. It does not work with the A50, which is wireless, but it works with all A40 versions, and the price is $49.99. The Ice Pop for A40 delivers crystal clear audio while freezing out the competition with the signature soundscape of blue microphones on an Astro gaming headset, engineered with a premium 9mm condenser mic that imbues your favorite headset with the same rich sound designed and tuned by Emmy Award-winning Blue Microphones team. Now available for your favorite piece of Astro equipment. It's pretty dope for people that play games online on console or PC and use that mic that comes out of your headset. I obviously use my own mic that I have here, but for people that use those mics on their headset, you're going to get a really good quality mic for your headset that you don't have to worry about that. You know how you ever play with players that had that awful, disgusting static sound or background music, or it's like they're auditioning for like a rap video or a rap production or a contract, or trying to make a CD, or like as if like other producers out in the world are playing Call of Duty or something. You always get those annoying people with mics. You're not going to hear that because the condenser mic pretty much only gets what's in front of your mouth. You'll be able to adjust it and stuff like that, and you'll have nice clear sound when you talk. So it's going to be pretty cool.
And the reason why the A50s, which are on my head, don't do that is this microphone is actually fixed into the side. This is not a removable mic. The A40s, you can pop one out and put it back in, like Tony was showing. This one's fixed. That's why the A50 wireless do not allow that option.
Yep, there's a little hole right here on the side for the mic. I have mine unplugged right now because I don't really use it for that. I never use the mic.
Yep.
So the mic's kind of put away right now, but it literally goes right in there, pops right in there.
Yep.
But that's a really cool mic though. I really like products like that. I personally have no use for them because like I said, I use these mics when I talk, unless I'm playing on console, which I don't really. I communicate on Discord even when I play on console. But for those players that use those mics for that and for everything else, that's a game changer. I like it.
It's a solid upgrade. Definitely a solid upgrade.
Yep.
Some more tech talk. So this is kind of came out of left field. I don't think anybody was really expecting to hear this. Dr. Disrespect's opening up a gaming studio? What? Come now. So you want to work with Dr. Disrespect? Apparently, he's in partnership with Boom TV. He's going to take the gaming industry by storm and create new AA and AAA gaming studio with a unique twist. The studio plans to form a partnership with a select of mega influencers, and then work with them to launch their own dream gaming title. These gaming titles will either be incubated or developed, or partner and co-develop with the existing indie game developers, then launched as mega titles. So Dr. Disrespect putting together a studio, and he actually has there's a link that producer's going to put up on the screen here, championsclub.gg careers. He's actually looking for a studio head and a co-founder to come along with him. So there's definitely some qualifications that he's provided here. You're gonna have to be able to develop and publish games on Epic or Steam or console. Have experience with that. You need to be able to work with the marketing team to have a go-to-market strategy, including influencer marketing. Relentlessly iterate gaming loops while evaluating KPIs around retention, monetization, community feedback, contribute ideas, and push boundaries of projects. You're going to have a deep knowledge of the history of PC games, indie, AA, AAA titles launched, and their success. You're going to be able to keep up to speed with a quickly evolving market of gaming, working with internal researchers, to identify, market opportunities. You have to participate in fundraising. You have to have the social persona, not necessarily disrespects persona, because he's got one, and be able to communicate with the community on an ongoing basis. You have to demonstrate the experience in developing and publishing AA or AAA titles with at least 100,000 plus users. This is a different move for Dr. Disrespect here. This is nobody's doing this. He's already talked about, reaching out to Nick Merckx and a whole different bunch of different big personalities, like I was talking about above, mega influencers like those folks, right, to create their own dream video game. What do you think about this, Tony? This is kind of cool, actually. I think.
Yeah, I pretty much saw this coming. A lot of these guys, like Dr. Disrespect, he used to work for a gaming company years ago. Do you know what his name is? Guy Beam. I believe he worked on Call of Duty projects before in the past. I believe it was Black Ops, the original. If I'm not mistaken, it was Black Ops. I could be wrong, but you can look him up, Guy Beam. But that's his real name.
Yeah.
But Dr. Disrespect, he's one of those guys that when he streams, if you've watched his streams, he talks about games. He talks about what should be in games, how games should work, how games should function. Why is a game bad, or why is a game good, or what makes games this and that. I saw this coming. I actually saw something like this coming because he has that brain mentality of, I can make a better game than you. I can put a team together. I got the money now to do so. I'm gonna put a team together, get the best guys I can find, and make some AAA titles on my own that will blow these guys out of the water. I have to have them compete with me as a game developer now. And now's the time to do it when games like Call of Duty are having trouble with their hacking.
Why not?
Apex is having a little trouble with some of their hacking originally, which hopefully now is stopped. There's other games too. PUBG is kind of falling off. Fortnite's kind of semi falling off.
Yep.
But there's a way for him to, get some people together, make something that combines maybe elements of all these great titles and put it into one game where he can make something good, or maybe make some other games. And he's got the money, he's got the brains to do so. I mean, he's not just Dr. Disrespect for any reason. He's been doing this stuff a long time, from YouTube to now streaming.
I'm glad you pointed that out, and I have noticed that because I do watch a Dr. Disrespect stream every once in a while, and I think most people get trapped up in the persona, in the character that is Dr. Disrespect, because he does such a, and he's different than everybody, right? He's actually a character on stream. He's a different guy. He's got the whole 80s thing, the car, everything that goes into the production of his streams is so intense, and it's so well thought out. I forget that he actually does make comments like that in the stream. He does talk about video games in that fashion. I did not know that he previously worked on games like that. So that's new information to me. It's part of the Noobs, right? I'm figuring stuff out as we go. But I can totally see that because this dude is an educated dude, right?
Yeah.
He is smart. He demonstrates that as he talks. Even though we may not think he's smart about the game of life, in this industry, in video games, he is very smart. So this is kind of cool. I mean, I can see this too. If he can get something off the ground with this, and he combines with some of these mega influencers, some maybe a Tim the Tap Man, maybe a, Nick Merckx, Courage, all these guys, that do a great job of putting content out there. Because they have such huge followings on their own. If this comes out as their game, who's not going to go jump on and check that out?
Yeah, he almost has a cult following. I mean,
he does.
A cult in a good way. Like, he has a really good following. I mean, people know this guy. I knew about him back in my YouTube days when I used to make videos back in 2009, 10, 11. He was making videos back then, and I was watching him back then. his edits and his videos on YouTube. If you haven't seen Dr. Disrespect YouTube videos back when he was playing Call of Duty, they're amazing. His edits and his just his way and his persona back then were just amazing. And then he took that to streaming. And even then, the production value was just as good in a stream. And it's like, the guy is phenomenal. I don't watch him as much now because I just don't have time.
Yeah.
But like, the guy, I would never say anything bad about that guy because he is just entertainment, pure entertainment. When he puts on that wig and he gets into character, the guy is phenomenal.
Yeah, the production value of what goes on there. I mean, you think like an actual TV station's putting this together. They got big time money going into this. I mean, he's got the resources, he's got the knowledge. It is probably okay, I'm just saying it right here. It's probably the most complete stream production of someone streaming video games with all the extra stuff that nobody else is ever going to have. It's the most complete package out there, combined with the salty attitude that is Dr. Disrespect when he does it, that everybody loves to hate or love. It's a complete package. Like this guy has that stuff figured out. So to take it into another area here, I'm anxiously anticipating what happens with this. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah. Moving on to game deals now. It's one of my favorite parts of the podcast to talk about. First, let's talk about PlayStation deals. So PlayStation right now has the summer sale going on still. And one game to note, like there's games up to like 75% off. You feel free to just scroll through that PlayStation store and look at some games that you might like. There's like a lot of them on discount. If you enjoy digital copies of games, grab those while you can, while they're cheap. But one in particular I want to talk about is more of a retro title that was remastered, but it's actually two. Crash and Spiral triple play bundle. And right now it's a $99.99 value, and it features 7 remastered titles. And it's Crash Insane Trilogy, which is 3 games, and then Spiral Reignited, which is 3 games, and then it's Crash Team Nitro Fueled. All remastered, all done really beautifully. And if you like retro gaming and having remastered games in HD and play them on your PS4 or PS5, there you go. $49.99 gets you that. And I think that's a pretty good deal.
That price.
Yeah, not bad price for that. And Xbox deals, there's a bunch of games on there as well, up to, I believe I saw 75% off. And one in particular is ending on the 15th, which is tomorrow. You might want to pick this up if you can. It was out in 2017, but apparently now it's reaching its end of life status on Xbox, which means you won't be able to get it anymore, and at least download it anymore. The only way you'll download it is if you already purchased it and already have downloaded it, obviously, and you get your DLC. But the Forza 7 Ultimate Edition, Forza Motorsport 7 Ultimate Edition, it's $79.99 usually. It's $19.99 right now, which is a great deal because you get every DLC it has, including the Fate of the Furious car pack. So you get your Fast and the Furious cars.
Man, you got to have that, right? You got to have those.
7. Yes, that's the one main reason why you should get that game. For $20 and being able to drive those cars, it'd be awesome. All right, and the last but not least, we were talking about battle royales earlier. I was mentioning this. Naraka Blade Point on Steam is a 60-player action battle royale offering players insane mobility powered by parkour and grappling hook, a vast arsenal of melee and ranged weapons, and a roster of characters with powerful abilities. Transform yourself into a gigantic, I don't know how to say this, Vajara warrior, and crush your enemies for $19.99. That's the standard edition. There's other editions too. There's another one for $39.99, I believe, and $49.99, or $29.99, and I think $49.99. It gives you like extra things for your characters and stuff like that. But this is a cool battle royale. You have a fully customizable character. You can fully customize your character, and it's more like a fighting game battle royale where there's a little less shooting. There's a lot more like sword play and fighting, and you're using abilities to fight people. You can team up with people and play against other people in this battle royale. And so far from what I've seen from the from streams that I've watched, it is really, really good looking and really, really cool. The only gripe that I've seen so far about this game is that it's not free.
It should be free. It should be entry level free, period.
It should be free. And that's why people people, that's the only reason I've seen thumbs down on this on Steam. People, every comment that you read a thumbs down, game should be free, because all these battle royales usually are free.
You got microtransactions. You got ways to make money as you move. The more you want to customize something, get it out there as free. You get more people jumping on it. You know,
Exactly.
I downloaded the Splitgate beta, which I guess I can start to play now because the load times are so much slower, faster now because they've been able to ramp up. But you know, if you want a rocket get blade point to get off the ground, have it free first, and then come in there and hey, then if I like the game, I'd be happy to spend 20 dull hairs on the game to get some other stuff. I mean, that'd be fine. I'd check it out.
From what I've seen, though, I think there's been over close to 1 million players on this game.
Wow.
So they're getting people. People are still, despite the complaining, people are still paying $20 to play this game, and people so far have had good reviews on this game and they're liking it. It's a different approach to BR with the fighting and the way they do things, and also the cool thing about this is you fully customize your characters. You make your character look the way you want it to look, not just some given character to you.
Mm.
And people love customization. I know I'm one of them. I love being able to customize my own look and my own characters. And I know they do that with Apex and skins, and they also do that with Warzone with skins. But this is different where you actually get to mold and shape and do your face and do all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, obviously 1 million people have already said yes to 1999, right? Which is, you know, it's just a cool $20 million they've already made off of this game, if that's the case. So
yeah, pretty cool.
All right, well, it's that time of the week where we're going to start wrapping up the show. We're gonna of course give our own plugs here. Before we do, first of all, I want to let you know there won't be a show next week. We have one of our members out of town next week, so we will not be here next week. On the 28th, we'll be back with a vengeance because we're going to have a special guest on the 28th. So have a week off and then come back on the 28th ready to have a very interesting show with a special guest. Not part of the Good Game Report community, by the way. Somebody that's much bigger. We'll leave that tease out there. I'm not going to tell you about that today. Why would I tell you today? I want you to come back and watch it, but we'll be teasing some information as we get there. But before Tony and I give our kind of closing comments here, and the producer, if he likes to as well, is we got something very near and dear to our community that's happening today. We're a family. The Good Game Report is a family, and try not to tear up a little bit while I'm saying this because it's so close to home. My mother's a cancer survivor, and one of our own, Malgenics, his mom, has cancer, getting ready to have surgery. This isn't put on, by the way. Tonight, Miles is doing a special stream. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tony, if you could take it from there, I'm lost. I can't speak right now.
Yeah, he's playing. So he's going to be playing a bunch of games: Warzone, Rocket League, Apex Legends, and he's raising money for his mom's cancer surgery. And that's tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, obviously. And a few other time zones, you can figure it out. Rules are every $100 raised equals a challenge, from eating bugs to doing a hot tub stream in a Speedo. He's doing open lobbies all night. He's also, if over $4,000 is raised, he will be giving away all of his first edition Pokemon cards, which is a pretty dope thing. And it's if you're part of this community, if you're part of any community, you want to tell your friends, you want to tell people, go to his stream tonight. Throw him a little something to help his mom out. I know it would mean the world to him. Myogenics is if you know Myogenics streams, and if you know him, the person, like we do, and to see, someone going through this and someone going through something, especially with a parent, help support him, come out, enjoy the stream, support him a little bit with what you can. And if you can't, still just be there for him, cheer him on and help the stream keep going. It's okay if you can't, it's not that big of a deal, but if you can, it's great to help out, and it's always great to help your fellow gamer or a fellow friend or a fellow human being, basically.
Absolutely. Sorry, I got a little choked up in the moment there. I wasn't expecting that, but just kind of thinking back and what my family's been through. Even if it is just coming in the stream and playing games with Miles tonight, please be there. Be there for your own. If you've got Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, the graphic is in the Discord. Go grab that graphic, save it, put it out, advertise the crap out of this. I've already done it in all my socials yesterday. Promote this thing. Let's get a bunch of people in here. It's for a very good cause. No one wants a parent to be in this position. And Miles is the kind of person, he would do this for anyone else as well. It just so happens to be his own mother. So that's rough. Yeah, I've been there multiple times through remissions and coming back from it. And let's go in there and have a fun time with Miles tonight. At the end of the day, go in there and have fun as a community. Invite your friends. Invite other people that are outside the community to come in there. It's definitely not all about the money, but it is. So kind of a funny side of this too is Miles will do some pretty crazy stuff on camera.
Yes, he will.
He's proven this time and time again. So I tell you right now, Miles, I'll be in there with the Cool 100 tonight because I want to see you do something. If that's eating bugs, or if that's doing a hot tub stream in a Speedo, I'm for the cause. I was going to do it anyway, but to get the side game of getting Miles to do something crazy, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
My check's in the mail already, or literally going to probably do it after the show here. I'll probably just pop it in there and just be done.
Hot tub stream. He had me at hot tub stream.
Oh, Tone, what's going on with you this week, man? As we wrap up the show here, what do you got going on?
Always follow me on Instagram. I'm at least active there. I don't stream as much as I'd like to, but I am very active on Instagram. I'm always posting pics of finds that I get, video game finds or toy finds or things like that, or just in general stuff around my room. And follow me on, and you can follow me anywhere: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, anywhere. It's always Optimus Magnum. Look for me there. Search the name Optimus Magnum, and you'll find me.
You know where to find me, JGotti KS79. Well, that's one thing that Optimus and I both do. We keep the same names out there and everything. You know what I'm going to promote? You know what I'm going to brag on this week? What do I talk about every week? What is my game? Tony, what am I so focused on right now?
Gotti-san.
Gotti-san. YouTube, man. It's all about the YouTube with Gotti-san right now. We are morning stream Gotti now, so you can expect to see me guaranteed Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. No later than 8 a.m. Central Standard. A lot of times before that. On Wednesdays, we stream on YouTube. Stream Warzone on YouTube on Wednesday. Warzone Wednesday on YouTube. So if you're looking for me on Wednesday on Twitch, I do put in the channel like, hey, I'm over on the other platform this morning. So if you can't find me on Wednesday morning, and I do point it out in the socials as well. Shorts, we just went over 100,000 views on the channel. So nice. Very cool. Up to 560 count on the subscribers, so we're over the 550 mark, looking for 600 next. It's big. The funny thing is about shorts, Tony? When I put shorts together for the week, I make 4 or 5 of them. There's always one that I'm like, I don't know if I should make that one or not. I don't know if who's going to watch that. Turns out, those are the ones that do the best. So I should go with the opposite of what I think in my head. It's like I had this awesome one that I posted yesterday of Cold War where I had a 15 kill streak. Right? Very precise, very good. Crowd all those 15 kills into a minute, just rock it. Like, oh, I love this. I would love to watch this. And you know what did better? Warzone, with me picking up an RPG, helicopter buzzes over my head at the last minute. I pull the RPG and I shoot it. Bro, blowing up the helicopter, knocking myself, teammate picks me up. But people watch that 2,243 times in the last 24 hours. I'm like, there was not really any content other there than a helicopter broke it up. So it's fine.
I'll give you the quick rundown. It's because people like quick action and they like rare things. Yeah. Anybody can watch somebody with a 15 kill streak. There's a billion people have done it. And there's so many YouTubers out there that showcase how good they are, but none of them show the comedy side or things that are funny or funny, quirky things that happen in the game. And those are the ones that get the most views, in my opinion.
I still got to go get the Dingleberry clips from last week because I think that'd be a gold mine based off of what
I cleared you to use my word. My word is Fluffleberry.
Well, we said
That's
it
my
on
new
stream.
word.
We said Dingleberry on stream in the comments.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have to go back. I just got to find some time. Maybe tonight I'll go back there and look for that. The producer, if you want to come in, you want to talk, tell us what you're up to. We saw you streaming last night. You were actually showing some of the Minecraft, kind of some of the back end as you were tuning some of that stuff up. There he is.
Hey.
There he is.
Peter Bite? Married Peter Bite, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was streaming last night, did some Minecraft back-end stuff so people can see what I was doing. I'm working on getting on streaming again. Working on getting better at socials. Got some things planned out that I just got to go into. But other than that, you can follow me on PeterBite __. I'm going to put a link on there. I finally got a link sorted out.
2 underscores.
Two underscores. Just 2.
One. You go raid the wrong guy with 1. 2 underscores.
Other than that, check out Matt's Geek Corner on Matt's Geek Corner. Geek Corner. I don't know why I said his full name.
Don't check out Matt's Geek Corner.
You can check him out too, but
Matty Geek.
but yeah, check out Geek Corner on Monday. We're playing the Alien Trilogy again. Other than that, keep it brief. Go check out Miles' stream. That's all I want to say. Just pop in there. If you can support, do it. Even doing a lurk would be enough to help out, because then it's more exposure. On the technical side, I will say, prefer you guys to use Firefox, because sometimes Chrome does not count it as an active view. So unless you're keeping it in an active tab, the lurks help too.
So we had 14 people in stream at one point yesterday. Some bot came in there, and we'll use it to its advantage, and it had some story like, I'm trapped and somebody's going to kill me. Please give me your credit card number so I can save myself.
My goodness.
The crap that comes through Twitch chats these days is just rich. It is just so filthy rich. It's like, what? I had to screenshot that and share that.
I know. When you showed me, I was laughing.
But give me your credit card number, because money's going to help me, because I'm trapped.
It wasn't just the credit card, too. It was the social security number, too.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, so Pete, I have one question for you while we got you on camera. So you've been married for a couple weeks now, right? A couple weeks, a little over 2 weeks. So what's married life like? How's it different? How's it the same?
It's pretty much the same as before. I always said, like, I was already practically married beforehand. The only difference is now I wear a ring, and well, she took my last name, so that's the difference.
Nice. Took your last name. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the young married couple getting their early paces in. Good to hear that everything's going well there. Well, it's that time of the
subject. Sorry, while we're on the subject of marriage, I just want to say that in 2 days, me and my lovely wife, if anybody can see that there, me and my lovely wife will be celebrating our 7th year anniversary.
Ooh,
who's that young kid with your wife in the picture?
I don't know. He was my stand-in.
Oh, yeah,
my body double.
When you guys got the glamour shot done of the wedding picture, you had someone stand in for you in the picture. I see that.
Yes. Yep. Oh, that's why I have him looking sideways, not exactly straight, because you got to make sure that the complete. If you saw the straight face, then you'll think then you'll know it wasn't me.
I'm the old married man. We'll be doing it in September here. On the 27th, we're going to be 13. So Baker's dozen this year.
Let's go.
It seems like just yesterday too. That's the crazy thing, Pete, is what I would say is you've been married for a couple of weeks. It's going to be 15 years before you know it. And then it's going to have a 25th and a 50th, and you're going to be old, and it's going to be like, wow, where did time go?
Went too fast.
Goes by fast.
Plenty of cool stuff happens when you're being married. Obviously, there's advantages to being single as well. All you married folks out there, keep it up. Keep doing your thing. So it's time to rate, right? Yep. Episode 11 is now behind us. We've covered all the information we're going to cover. Next week, we will be off. Be coming back on the 28th with a bang with a special guest. Nice special guest is the way as well. Optimus went out there and pulled us a nice one. So it'd be very cool to learn some more about them. It looks like one of our own, Drunken Penguin, is out there streaming right now. He's been doing what simulator is he doing right now?
He is doing a lawn mowing simulation.
He's doing the lawn mowing simulator. So this is so crazy because I follow a couple other people that do simulators. Like they drive semis, right? You've got the Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's it's like a whole nother world, man. I'm scared to even touch one of those games because I'm afraid I'm going to download and buy like 15 simulators and start playing those instead. But just so you guys have some perspective of what a simulator looks like if you haven't seen a simulator game, we're going to go ahead and raid Drunken Penguin. And he is part of the Good Game Report community, one of the new members. We've got that queued up. Thank you so much for everybody who's watched here on the live stream. Those who watched it in YouTube, sorry I broke up a little bit there. It's just touchy. Make sure you go visit Miles tonight. It's a big deal. Go share it in socials. Thanks everybody for being part of the show today. Tony, great job. Producer, always doing a great job. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Let's go with the raid. See you, everybody.
Yeah.